I'll let you handle that.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're watching tonight. I'm Sid Viscus, joined tonight by Tokyo Dave, and welcome along to round 2 of the Lamborghini Yuletide Rush presented by ARL Sim Racing in association with Timian Racing Factory, coming to you from Zandvoort, North Holland in the Netherlands. Nestled in the dunes overlooking the North Sea, this racing circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with an elevation change of 8.9 meters or 29 feet, and an excellent mix of flowing high-speed sections and tight technical corner complexes that rely on careful pedal application throughout. The track layout for tonight is actually the 5th of 6 layouts, with the ACC version not sporting the pre-2020, or sporting the pre-2020 version and not sporting the new improvements made by F1. So this is most noticeable in Hugenholtz at turn 3 and turns 13 and 14 at Kumho and Arie Luijendijk, where the steep corner bank angle is not present. As well, the pit exit being prior to turn 1 instead of after, and on the subject of the pit lane, the entrance is extremely short and will require some deft braking and strong situational awareness to avoid speeding penalties and potential incidents. The standard overtaking opportunities here are at turn 1, known as Tarzan, and through turns 2 and 3, Gerlach and Hugenholtz, and on the run down into turn 11, Hans Erst, and through 12. Other overtakes here will rely on mistakes through the sweeping corners on this fast and flowing circuit. With me tonight to call the race, as mentioned, is Tokyo Dave. We're fresh off an exciting round 1 at Brown's Hats, where we saw a pretty clean start, but the incidents grew in number and severity as the race progressed. Are we in for more of the same tonight, Dave, or will we see a little more lap 1 drama tonight?
I'm thinking we're going to see some lap 1 drama, and it's a very tight track, just like Brands Hatch, where overtaking possibilities are going to be few and far between. Any door-to-door action is going to come with considerable risk.
Yeah, it's one of those circuits where you really have to be careful where you pick your overtaking spots, because there's a lot of deceptively shallow exits. So you can quickly find yourself out of track if you're running wide. And you really have to be opportunistic into those slower corners.
And there's a lot of deceptive braking zones I've noticed from my time on track, where you're braking a lot earlier than you think you should.
Yeah, because you want to carry a maximum apex speed through the corner, and some of these are really flowing. They have maybe a later apex than you might think, or maybe earlier and a sort of longer exit. It's really difficult to judge on the entry sometimes where you're at in terms of what your maximum braking threshold is for the corner.
Yeah, I had a difficult time here. I did an hour-long race, and let's just say my car came back in many pieces.
I think that's going to be a bit of a standard tonight. I think we're going to have a lot of drivers who find themselves with incidents. It's not a lot of space, and if somebody's spun around a blind corner here, there's not really much space to go anywhere else.
There's no way around it. If someone's on the racing line and in the wrong direction, you have nowhere to go.
We've actually seen it a couple times already in the practice session, where maybe somebody spun over a hill or behind a corner and collected 2 or 3 cars in the process.
That is for sure. Speaking of which, let's see some of our other qualifiers on the track. Who do we want to see? How about Mr. Turkey? Always a fun watch.
No time set yet, but I think that this next lap should be the first of the time laps for everybody, so we should start seeing at least a bit of representation for where people are going to fall.
Yeah, I expect Malouf and Sava to be right up there at the top, battling for P1.
Is our race winner from race 1, is Menezes here tonight, or?
That is a good question. He is spectating tonight.
Okay, so
somebody's
in the wall.
Somebody's in the wall.
626 is Chambers. That's Chambers.
Let's take a look, see how she's doing.
It's a tough part of the track to get yourself turned back around. Like we were saying, that's downhill and a bit unsighted when you're coming over the crest.
Especially with 30 cars on the track.
The next car on the scene there is Hatcher. Let's see how it works out. And Hatcher had to bail out. He's going to be a little upset by that, probably feeling like he was blocked from a lap there, but better to bail out and fight another day than collect a car.
Yeah. As long as you can take the car around in one piece.
So we've got our first laps in. We're half a second off what our fastest times were around abouts in the practice, so we still have some ramping up to do. We did talk about the temperature and maybe the condition changes. So right now we're track temperature is about 4 degrees cooler than where we were at, and we're 2 degrees ambient air temperature less than what we were in the free practice. So maybe that's catching some people out.
It's probably a good insight.
It's a little bit harder to fire those tires up when you have that lack of track temperature. And you wouldn't think it means much, but it can mean, at least a few tenths, maybe a couple tenths over the lap.
We're looking at about 5 tenths. Was it 5 tenths slower from the move? Or we're seeing the 36s during practice?
No, nobody broke the 36s, so we're about half a second off, there or thereabouts. We have quite a line of cars also going through the top of the track into the middle sector there, so if one car wipes out in that group from car 313, which is Reynolds, all the way down to number 42, which is
back to the pits.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I think he's probably getting new tires and doing another run.
Do you think that's a smart move, or will it take too long to get him up to temperature before you get a good qualifying lap?
Well, what I think is, at least what I've seen done in races that I've participated in ACC, is that they'll only fuel for 2 laps. So they'll do an out lap, they'll do 1 hard charging lap, or maybe 2 hard charging laps if it takes them some time to get the tires up, and then they'll immediately click back to the pits. So they'll exit back to the pits, which negates having to go all the way back around to the pits. Then they'll hop out and try to do another short run with minimum fuel, because, every liter of fuel is costing you time in the form of weight to the car.
And we got ourselves a new P1, Marco.
Cicalo. That's a nice lap.
See if we can keep this up.
And we still have Saba in 10th, so he was around the top in the free practice. So a second off, that might be a banker lap. So he might try to go again and do a real hard charger here.
Let's see. Is he on track now?
He is, yeah. He's just rounding the second to last corner. So he's on the penultimate corner now, and he should be heading into the last corner as we speak.
See what kind of time he puts up, if he's on a hot lap or not.
It looks like he's charging pretty hard out of there. So he's either starting or finishing one. So that might have been an out lap.
Yeah, probably starting his hot lap now. See if Marco's able to improve on his time at all.
Oh, he touched the dirty stuff out there a little bit.
May be able to get a tow from the car in front of him.
Yeah, that's White ahead of him. And I don't think he's
no improvement.
And where's Saba now? Yeah,
keep an eye on Saba.
So he's coming through Master Corner now. Next up is turn 9. These are the really deceptive corners on the track. Really, really long braking zones.
Oh,
Hatcher diving out of the way.
Hopefully that did not slow Saba down at all.
Turn 10 here. This is a real tire waster if you get it wrong. You get a nice little straight here down into Hans Ernst at turn 11. This will be one of the probably more appropriate overtaking spots on the track because you get that tight switchback, but you really got to set it up. This is a track kind of like Brands Hatch, like we were talking about last time, where you can really defend easily if you place your car in the right spot. It will cause a lot of work for the drivers behind trying to get by.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like last week where you don't have to be the fastest driver, just the cleanest.
Stay on the gray stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so he's up into first now, and he's broken the 136s. So that's an impressive lap.
Very impressive. Over 5 tenths over his closest competitor.
Yeah, and you got to think some of the guys a little bit behind there in that top class are lining up for one last solid run. About 6 minutes and 25 seconds left as we talk, so still enough time for a couple out laps, or maybe an out lap and a couple hot laps.
Let's check in on our AM class, see if Turkey can move into the top spot.
Yeah, so he's also about half a second back of Alarcion, who's in in sixth at the moment. Sorry.
Oh, and there's a yellow flag in front of him.
Oh,
Clears it fine. He's got a good gap to the cars in front of him, which means he can push hard.
he is going to have to deal with Mohamed behind him, who is a very fast runner, and is probably going to make up that time on him pretty quickly over this lap if he's pushing. Let's see what he can do here.
Especially
it's a clean lap.
Was there a 7/10 difference in their fast time? So, will he make that up over one lap?
That's going to be that'll be tough to make.
Yeah.
He'll have to really put it together here, but he's driving well. And Hamoud doesn't seem to be pressuring him too much, so I don't know if maybe Hamoud's just misjudged the braking zone, like we were saying.
Bend it.
He's still got time to go out.
If he can get out there, he can probably get a good an out and two hots.
About that, yeah. It'll be close.
Let's see, what's the silver division, I would say? Oh, with Anthony up in P1?
Yeah, that's silver division there. And it's pretty close in there.
Pretty close.
Not much in it.
Like 1500s?
Between the top three.
Yeah.
Top four now.
Let's see. Kevin back in the pits. How about Peppers? If he can just pull a slight improvement, that can put him up in the P1 in his division.
Yeah, inside 3/10 too is Reynolds, and then Walker is just shy of that, and Watson right behind him. So Silver will be pretty close tonight, it looks like.
Should provide some good racing.
Yeah, we haven't had any change in the ambient or track temperature, so they kind of, I think, are going to be dealing with this until the end of the qualifying session. I don't think it'll change much.
That turn is one of the most deceptive on this whole track. You really got to get on the brakes early.
Yeah, and with the way the track works, having those 10 corners to the right and 4 to the left, it's extremely left-hand side limited for the tires. So that's one, if you scrub tires in there, you're going to start to feel it over the course of your stint.
Hopefully Spectre does not affect Pepper's lap time.
Spectre also running respectively.
I see what we did there.
We're getting started early here tonight.
Yeah.
And where are we at? Oh, wow.
No improvement.
Interesting. We're down to the nitty-gritty here now.
I think Kevin is content with his P10 right now. Not leaving the pits. That's a shame. What about that Frankie back here?
We were talking about Frankie last week. I don't know if that got caught in the broadcast because of some of it that got cut off there, but he's a quick driver.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he won the M-Class BMW M3 series.
I think he dominated the rookie series from what I understand.
So I think this is his first series with his promotion to the middle class here. And he's showing well for himself. I mean, 12th place. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Thompson lets him by. That's going to ruin his lap.
Thompson is an AM-class driver, and I mean, he's not, he doesn't have to give that place, but you would hope that it doesn't spoil your final lap of the day.
All right.
He does have time to get around and start a lap, at least, if he wants to back out of this.
All right. Especially, for someone like Thompson that's sitting nearly 7 seconds off the pace. You really don't want to hold up someone behind you on a flyer.
He might be seeing green in his dashboard, though. You never know. Maybe he's primed to make a few seconds. Oftentimes, like in having driven in that lowest formula before, like you have, where, sometimes you just hook that lap up. A lot of the problem is hooking that lap up over and over again. Some of the rookie drivers can be extremely fast on one lap pace. They just kind of bite themselves over the course of a race stint.
Looks like Frankie took your advice and backed out.
Yeah, so he's going to have enough time now to get through the final 4 corners and get onto a heater if he wants to. He's just got to back up a little bit further and he'll be fine.
He's in a tough position where he doesn't want to slow up Spectre either.
Yeah, true. You don't want to be accused of holding up the car behind, but I think he has a nice pocket here, and yeah, he's accelerating out of the final corner, so he's going to go for it on this final lap. 13 seconds till the end of qualifying, so I think anybody in the first sector right now is not going to be able to do a new time, and pretty much anybody probably not entering at least the final corner right now is done for the day.
How about Alicon? I'm never going to say his name right. Alarcon jumping up to P7 in the end.
That is an impressive time. Let's see if he keeps it with this run of cars finishing their qualifying sessions here now. I think everybody who hasn't started a lap has dove into the pits, so everybody on the track now has a chance to improve. So first we're going to get car 343, which is Khan, will be our next one to finish. In 12th place now. Let's see if he can improve.
That silver division is packed up, all within like 0.2 of each other.
Car behind him is Medell. Fred, let's see if he improves. Car 21 is Vergara, back of him. Next will be Thompson.
Right.
And then directly behind him is Perot. So we'll see if that lasts. Oh, so Thompson dives into the pits and so does Perot. So Spectre's the next one, it looks like, across the line. And he won't improve. So car 99 is Roman and 27 is Turkey. Let's see if they can improve at all.
Well, that session has ended.
Oh,
so
just short for them.
Didn't quite make it.
Oh, we got our starting grid, and we probably got a few minutes here to go over it before the race gets underway.
Yeah, just got to let the game catch up so we can review it. All right. So
that was a clean session, though.
Yeah, I didn't notice too many offs. So starting P1 is Mr. Maloof.
That's a good qualifying for him.
Yeah.
And he managed to out-qualify Saba, so he was further into the 36s, which is impressive. He's of White Chorizo Racing.
Saba in P2. Was he our pole winner last week?
I think he was on pole last week, yes.
Or was that Pig?
Oh, it could have been, actually.
I think he might have been P2 last week as well.
Interesting. So he's going to get an opportunity to get a little redemption from that strategy call that Menezes put on him.
Right? The overcut really got him. Starting third, we got Joe. Quite an improvement from last week.
Yeah, Mr. Zuniga. That should keep him out of a little bit of trouble, hopefully. He's of Maple Pain Train, the best team in racing.
I tell you, I find it always scary starting up front with that, especially such a big line of cars behind you, and going into a hairpin T1.
Yeah, you want to scamper off into the distance as quickly as possible and hope that the wreck kind of sorts itself out behind you.
Marco in P4. Good start for him.
Mr. Cicolo, Unconventional Racing.
Rodriguez, P5.
Mr. Ramrod of SPS Racing, teammate of the aforementioned Pig, Kevin Correa, who won't be here tonight.
I believe he's out of town. Mo, P6. Surprising. I expected him to be higher up on the list.
So that's the second of the unconventional racing cars. So they're both 2 cars in the top 6, which is an impressive finish in qualifying for them.
The real surprise is our AM right in the middle of the top 10 in P7.
Aliasson and AM Pole up there in 7th that's pretty impressive.
Let's see how it plays out for him. Mr. Phelps, car number 666.
Yeah. Rocking a new livery this week that we noticed.
Yes.
Yeah,
P8.
he's done away with the pink and gone for more of a green. So let's see if that works out for him.
Sometimes that's all it takes. I
Both
know
Maple Paint Train cars in the top 8. So nice little battle there.
I know in the Super Formula League, I hadn't had much luck until I changed my livery and finally got a win.
It's weird, the little things. They can pay off. Sometimes it's maybe all in your head, but, a little bit of change do somebody some good.
It's the little things that matter. Walker, P9.
So he's actually an owner-operator driver in the silver class. So that's an impressive result for a one-car team and somebody operating on their own there.
Pole position in silver class at that.
Yeah, impressive. And a very tight silver class, I might add. All within about 1/10 of the top 4.
Anthony, rounding out the top 10.
Part of his namesake in white chorizo racing, that he is the white in white chorizo racing, and P2 in silver is impressive for him.
Kevin Correas, P11.
Little Pig, as they call him.
One of our fellow commentators on the Tuesday series.
Yeah, and does great work over there. He's with ARL Grid Fillers in 3rd place in silver.
Khan, P12.
He's also of white chorizo racing.
Pepper's P13.
Another ARL Grid Fillers driver, so they're doing well in that silver class.
Watson, P14.
Where is Watson? He is a Good Drive team member.
Well, congratulations, Watson. P15, Mr. Perot.
We saw him get held up a little bit, I think, in that qualifying session. I think he had a hard time with the traffic.
Yeah. Fried Turkey, it's P16. And P2
in RM.
But there's quite a few cars in between him and P1. He's going to have this work cut out for him.
Yeah, he's of H&M Racing, which I think is a clothing brand. Hopefully they don't get sued.
Jay Reynolds, P17. I don't have much to say about him because I know nothing about him.
He is a silver driver with BJ Racing.
Fitting.
We are getting started early.
P18, Mary Wright.
Yeah, Mary Wright I think he's actually in the pro division. He's an owner-operator.
Okay. Nick Spector. It is Nick, right? It's not Nicole?
Yes, it is Nick Spector. And he is White Chorizo Racing AM driver. So a nice 3rd place in the AM category for him.
Jay Roman, P20.
Yeah, a good result for him. Yeah. He is also an owner-operator in the pro class.
And Carabello.
Owner-operator down in the AM class. And I think P4 for him in that division.
P22, Freddie Medell, a real creep.
Oh, have you soured on him after last week? Well, I thought he was like your favorite guy.
Oh, after a one-on-one interview, I learned some things that were quite unsettling.
Oh, was that bizarre post-race interview that he gave in ARL After Hours last week?
Yes.
I'm on board with that. Very strange man.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to air that interview, or I should say, fortunately.
Yeah, we're probably. I think the listeners are probably the most fortunate people for not having to hear that.
P23, R Rider. Do you think
he's
the R
puff past racing?
Do you think the R stands for rough?
I was going to say something else.
Okay. And moving on. P24, El Dinosoro.
So he's actually another Puff Puff Pass driver, so they are qualifying right next to each other tonight.
Oh, we'll see how that works out for them. Vergara, P25.
Owner-operator from the AM class.
D. Don is P26.
He's in silver class with Last Minute Racing.
Thompson, P27.
He is an owner-operator from the AM class.
Tony Hatcher, P28.
Another owner-operator. Let's hope he doesn't get disqualified this week, because that was unfortunate for him last week.
Yeah, it's just a mental lapse. And rounding out the back of our field is Chambers, car number 626.
Chambers is of Shadows Dawn Racing in the AM class.
All right. And I believe she is our only female driver.
I'm not sure, but I think so.
Let's wish her the best. And that rounds out our field. And we're a little over 2 minutes to race start.
So they should just be finishing their briefing now and going for their, last checks.
Now, let's watch out for Rodriguez off the start. Make sure he gets it in the right gear and doesn't destroy the whole field.
Like I said last week, I think he's been involved in 3 or 4 of my top 5 biggest wrecks. He's a guy that has the ability and has been known to wreck an entire field in his heyday.
I mean, he's had some lapses in judgment and memory, I might add.
Memory of a goldfish. Sometimes you have to have that in racing, but it can be frustrating when you're doing a post-race debrief.
Yes. Well, one time he'd even asked me, what is Curious George's name?
Yes. What is the monkey from Curious George's name?
Yes.
Yes.
That mystery is still yet to be solved.
I think it was solved with the outcome of the doping scandal.
I'm going to keep my eye on this turkey, this race. He's a guy I'm pulling for.
He's actually had a really positive week, Turkey has. I think at 61 years old, he finally went shopping by himself without any supervision.
Was he allowed to, or did he just take this upon himself?
There was probably a nurse somewhere chasing him with some type of syringe, but I think he managed it all by himself. It was all over the news.
No hand-holding or anything. That's impressive.
No, he only got lost 3 or 4 times in the store, and only needed outside assistance on 2 of those occasions.
10 seconds.
Now, what the folks really want to know is, what did he purchase?
All I know is it took place in a Costco, which is an impressive facility to navigate.
So, adult diapers is what we're presuming.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you did. The cars are getting underway now. Let's hope he doesn't need those adult diapers tonight.
Let's take a look at our leader.
Maloof will lead us around. This is Tarzan, turn 1.
Yeah, why don't you give us a nice
we'll go through.
track tour.
So as mentioned, this is the 2019 and prior version of the track, so we don't have the heavy banking. So this corner here is a Gerlach and into Hugenholtz, which is generally a 19-degree banked left, but obviously hasn't been redone in the ACC version. As you go up over the hill, this is Hunserug.
Hugenholtz sounds like something I've seen in a adult video.
That's more information than I needed. This downhill left-hander is Rob Slatermaker, one of the only 4 left-handers, and this is turn 6, the high-speed right-hander over a crest. Now we dip down the hill into Shivlak. It's a long right-hander. This is going to be a tough corner to make any moves at unless somebody makes a mistake, but it leads up into a tightening right-hander at Master. And coming up to your most hated corner here, turn 9. Long right-hander with a deceptive braking zone.
Very early braking zone. Like, there is a marker on the right-hand side. I'm sure you saw it flash in front of the screen that you have to brake way before that.
And here's your long left-hander at turn 10. So this is a corner where you might want to try to heat up those right-hand side tires because you have so few heavy left turns. This track is very right-hand turn dominant, so the left-hand side tires get beat up pretty good here. You have a long straight now heading into Hans Ernst, which is the complex at turn 11 and 12. This will be a prime overtaking opportunity, as mentioned in the intro. You kind of have a heavy braking zone followed by, 2 really tight corners. And that chicane can be an opportunity if you place your car right. Now there's a short straight here. The next right-hander will be at Kumo.
When I read the track map, I totally misread the name of that turn. Like now, I know it's Kumo, like after the tires, I'm assuming, but my dyslexic brain, I don't even want to mention what I read it as. I read it completely phonetically, put it that way.
Oh no. This is Ari Luyendijk. This is the final right-hand corner. So now we're on to the pit straight for the start of the race. Let's see if we have a massive pileup in turn 1 like you predicted.
One can only hope.
There's a couple people throughout the grid that I wouldn't be surprised.
Green light. Go, go, go.
And we are green. Roman in the back almost going onto the grass to get around. And Saba and Maloof are neck and neck going down to turn 1. Oh, and it looked like Zuniga maybe got a piece of Saba there.
Up on the curbing.
Oh, we have a car off already. A couple cars off already, it looks like.
Before.
But Maloof has made it away clean.
Is someone starting from the pits, is what I see? Shane
they
Stevens.
haven't actually got underway. So yeah, Stevens from Grid Fillers is, I think, stuck in the pits. This is what we were talking about. Maloof and Saba already scampering away, making sure that they're clear of anything that might happen down near the back.
Just finally starting to get some times in.
Looks like
up
Thompson
to
might have
third.
had a rough start.
Good start for Phillips.
And we do have a yellow. That's up at Shevlak. Car 54.
Right.
That's, right again. And Donis, it looks like. Car 10. And I think the 119 car of Dinosauro was involved in that as well, because he's only just marginally ahead of them.
Can we see if there's any... Don't notice any damage to the front of it, so... Hopefully he's able to continue without having to go to the pits.
Around that corner, it was probably just a little bit clumsy. Like you were saying with the incident you were talking about with the leader of your 1 hour race. Going down into that corner, if you do make contact, it tends to just be a clumsy around. All right.
Got a nice
Already
big
a
group.
4-second gap.
Nice big group going into turn 1.
Headed up by Phillips and Zuniga, the 2 MPT cars, up into 3rd and 4th. You love to see it.
That is a shame, I must say.
Quite the battle going on behind, too, with Walker, Ciclo, and Rodriguez, it looks like. This is a real tight. Ciclo looking for any way to get by. Ooh.
Well, this is not the place to do it.
No, and that's a silver car in Walker running way ahead of his class. He must have had one heck of a start. I'd love to see his replay from the cockpit if we could.
Yeah, well, if I had the ability to do that, yeah, I would. But.
And looks like Dinosauro and the 119 car is off again in Hugenholtz.
Yes.
Yeah, he's ended up in the wall again.
It looks like some damage to the back end of that car.
The only real backstory for any of the corners that I know is that Hugenholtz is named after the longtime circuit owner, whose, I think, son or grandson actually owns the circuit nowadays. He was part of the automobile club around here in the 30s when they, I think, initially designed the track with old communication roads from the Second World War.
I would like to say that's interesting, but I'd be lying.
You and I have different tastes.
All
It's a
I
nice
know
little
is,
pack here from...
yeah. All I know is racetrack.
It's gray, and that's where I drive.
Yeah,
Oh, Rodriguez looking for a late move there.
not gonna happen.
I think Walker's kind of backing up Cicolo into Rodriguez here, which is probably frustrating both of them because Cicolo probably wants to make the pass, and
Yeah,
Rodriguez probably just wants to get by Cicolo.
And Cicolo did have a really good qualifying time to start off, so
Yeah.
he does have the pace.
It's difficult here if you end up on the outside at Tarzan. That can be a really difficult thing off the start.
Taking a dive.
Oh. Ooh, that's not a real...
He thought better of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to overtake through a corner like that. That's not really an overtaking opportunity unless the person ahead of you is making some kind of grave error. He's going to chase him here, though. Oh, and Walker's gone wide. That might be the opportunity that Cicolo needs, and yeah, he's going to get it here.
Nice move.
Like we were saying in the intro, like it almost has to be a mistake from the car ahead because they can put their car in a very convenient place to defend. It's on the catching driver to try to make a mistake out of the leading driver, and now Rodriguez wants a piece. Hamoud too, really charging down Correa there. I think Rodriguez is trying to line this up into turn one.
Let's see if he can pull it off.
See, he's going to hug into the slipstream.
Probably dive to the inside. And there it is.
Oh, he's making it early, so...
Let's see if he's late on the brakes.
Making it known. And he is. Oh, that's very tight. Walker might hold this. You can actually hold a lot of speed around.
Wow.
So that outside line is quite tricky to... quite tricky for the passing car.
Oh,
and he snatched him around. We know Rodriguez can get a little impatient at times.
Yes.
And I think that was a bit of impatience there.
Now he's got Hamoud on his tail. Got more to worry about than Walker in front of him.
Yeah, he had to back off because he didn't want the push-to-pass penalty coming. But he's kind of back on him now here, and this is where Walker made his mistake against Cicolo. And he does go deep again, so...
I think it's going to leave the door open for Hamoud.
It will. Oh, Rodriguez kind of thought about throwing it down the inside, but Walker defending it well. That's a hard spot for Hamoud to make a move around the outside, but Rodriguez giving him a lot of space there. He's going to get by him.
Through.
Yeah. He is through. Oh, very close. Maybe the over-under here to try to get back by Rodriguez.
This is allowing Walker to pull away a little bit.
It's actually reading as Hamoud ahead there for a second.
It is.
So maybe it'll correct.
We know that's not accurate.
Yeah.
There it is. Now it's corrected itself.
So he's 0.3 back. He's a little bit too far to make the move on Rodriguez there. This is an overtaking opportunity, though, if he's opportunistic. Just a little bit too far back, it seems. And there is a car off. It looks like car 22, maybe, if I can see that number correctly. Oh, it's 43.
Okay, 43 it is. I'm not sure who that is.
Oh, they passed it. Now it's 343. It's hard because the numbers get kind of jumbled.
I nailed it, Con. Look at that. My first guess. He's got
nice
turkey
new livery
on
on Con's car.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't remember. Was he around last week for Brands Hatch, or was he?
He was, yes. That's where the yelling of Con came from. Well, that.
I mean,
it's
it
not
came
where
from
it came
Star
from,
Trek.
And it looks like Turkey's had a bit of a shocker to open the race. Oh, Con's around.
Con's around.
Ooh. Turkey's going to make up the place.
Good job, Turkey. Let's see how our favorite creep's doing.
We do have the 99 car off of Roman at Hans Ernst. He's just getting back underway. And let's see if we can see any damage on that car. I don't see any. Maybe just a little spin. It's an easy braking zone to get too much.
See how our battle with Mahmoud and Rodriguez is going.
So Rodriguez has got by Walker.
Yeah.
And Hamoud's going to be trying to get past Walker as quickly as possible here.
It's the lone silver driver up there.
Impressive. And
yeah, I'm sure
AM-class leader in 10th.
Yeah, I'm sure Kevin would like to see Hamoud get past Walker. That would put him in contention for P1 and Silver Division.
Yeah, only a few tenths separating them at the moment. So if Hamoud gets by, and he's going to pull a feisty switchback there into turn 10.
If I was Kevin, I'd just go wherever Mo goes.
Yeah, just follow him through the gap wherever he goes. Gotta hope for something opportune. A little bit dangerous too sometimes though, because if Walker doesn't see the car 2 back and he's more focused on the car directly behind him, sometimes he can be unsighted. Can lead to a little bit of a tripping hazard. Now Hamoud's real close here. This should be an overtake.
There he is. He's pulling out.
He's going to make it obvious. Under braking.
Makes it look easy.
What a move under braking. Just really, really confident on the brakes there. Now we have our battle for silver class lead.
See if Kevin can make up some time on Walker.
He's going to be licking his chops to get by here. He knows this is for net lead. Now we have a degree warmer track temperature and a degree warmer ambient temperature from our qualifying session, so might be helping some of the drivers find a better groove here. Oh, that's a brave move.
Looking up the grid, you got a 3.5 second gap for Maloof over Saba.
And 9 seconds back to Zuniga, so that's impressive.
It's a one-man race currently. Oh.
If I were Saba, I'd be thinking about that same move that Menezes put on him with the overcut.
Is that a lapped car in between?
It is. Stevens. Yeah, Stevens is a lapped car. It's just appeared in between.
He's got a lot of work to do starting from the pits.
Oh, that was the car that was kind of stuck in there. So he
Correct.
started late.
Yeah.
How many laps is he down now? Can we see from the screen? All we know is he's 26 back of Chambers.
Yep.
I think they only flash.
So if it's Chambers, I would imagine going by these times, I would imagine he's probably 1 lap down.
Maybe 2, because I see the plus 1 lap at Roman. You're
Chambers
right, yeah.
is just getting blue flag now. Oh, and Chambers goes around.
Big incident.
That's an incident for Maloof.
Yeah, I think Maloof just punted her around.
Yeah. Ooh, that could affect his race.
And again, that's a very tricky part of the track to get back on track. She's going to have to wait till everybody goes by. There is a gap between Anthony and the 313 car.
Just getting back on now. Is she facing the right direction?
That's Reynolds. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Dangerous.
Yeah, this could be
look at
dangerous.
how many cars are coming by. She's going to be sitting there for quite a while.
You can't really risk going into the line. Turkey coming up on the scene now.
Looks like she's got at least 3 more cars to go by her.
After the 999 of Perot, maybe. That kind of opening.
Now,
and then the 54 of Wright. So now we're going again. It's going to be hard with cold tires now.
Yeah. Cold and dirty at that. Oh, that is unfortunate.
And 2 laps down, it seems. So
It seems, yeah.
yeah, that's tough when you have a leader punch you around like that. It's it's frustrating when you're trying to run your race and get tripped over. Yeah. It is part of the multi-class experience, is that the leaders do have to be aware that there's drivers on the track that are in a lower category and are still trying to learn how to be fast and have to avoid those drivers.
Much different pace, and the blue flag cars don't have to concede position to the leaders, so.
No, it's not like some forms of motorsport where they have a maximum amount of marshals posts before they get a black and white flag type penalty. So it is the onus is on the following car or the faster car to try to get around in a safe and clean manner. And it looks like the 66 has stopped out of Hans Ernst again. So it might have been a cold tire situation. That's Chambers again.
Oh. 626. Yep.
It's really tough with cold tires, dirty tires to get a lap.
Looks like there's a lot of damage on that car, which is probably not helping either.
That's probably going to have to pit, and I don't know if you can hold on to the window at this point, because I think we're about 10 minutes out from the pit window.
She's coming into the pits.
So that will be a pit.
Ugh. That's tough.
Just a tough situation, yeah.
Well, on to our silver class.
Still the same battle. So, Little Pig, Kevin Correa still chasing Walker for that lead.
We
do have trying to make inroads on Phillips.
Marco here. Looks like 4/10 back.
And Hamoud on Rodriguez. So just behind them there is a 3/10 gap. They're scrapping for position, so a lot to play for here in that, top 7. Sikalo kind of had that advantage from getting by Walker a little bit early, and I think Rodriguez and Hamoud have been trying to make inroads on that gap ever since. And it looks like they've kind of pulled up to him.
So now he's under attack.
We'll have to see if Moby has the pace to defend them, because you got to think he might be trying to rear gun for Zuniga ahead. Make sure these guys don't get around and protect the team result, because that is a team podium.
True.
Maple Paint Train, they're famous for their team orders.
Yes. Some questionable techniques over the years.
It's not questionable if you win.
Many a rule change had to be made due to a certain team.
Last time I checked, no asterisks on the trophy. Sikalo here trying to make an impression on Phillips down into Tarzan. This is quite the pack here. They're all keeping pace. See if Sikalo can make a move into the heavy braking zone at Hugenholtz here. He tried to look for it.
Ambitious move, to say the least.
You never know, though. That's a corner where you can kind of catch someone sleeping. Because some drivers like to take a late apex. And if you're not thinking about the defense and the driver behind is maximum aggression, sometimes you can just get that nose in there enough to kind of throw them off. Oh, he's really chasing.
He's got a good run here. Drop it to the inside.
Way out wide. Let's see if that's on purpose. Maybe trying to hold the inside
Rodriguez
line.
Trying to join the fight.
Agent of Chaos, Rodriguez. You got to think this could end in calamity if there's some contact between Phillips and Sikalo.
If anyone's going to cause chaos, I put my money on Rodriguez.
You ever seen that bicycle racing they do in the Olympics where they got that crazy bank dome and they're all, nuts to butts?
No. I haven't.
This is kind of like
Please,
racing
please
version
explain.
of that.
I want to.
You know, they have their little line, and they go in a heat, basically, a little pack.
Oh,
Oh, and
there it
there's the
is.
calamity. We called it. And now this whole race has been...
It was Rodriguez, wasn't it?
It was, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe Ciclo kind of encroached, I think. I think Ciclo had the pass made and then kind of turned back in on Phillips. But it's hard to tell.
We're going to have to watch that post-race.
Ciclo's got front-end damage and side damage, it looks like. So a little bit of damage on that car now. Can we see anything on Rodriguez's car? Has he collected anybody to any serious degree?
The camouflage paint job tends to hide his mistakes.
I think he does that on purpose.
Yes.
And Phillips behind, probably carrying a little bit of damage and trying to hold off a mood here. And I think a mood might get the move done.
Yeah. I would imagine Phillips is not thrilled right now.
I imagine that's going to be some type of investigation.
Yeah. Although he did, looking at his car, he did seem to come out clean from that.
Yeah, maybe he just got Ciclo just the right angle, so he spun him around but didn't really collect him as badly. But, I mean, like I was saying, 5.256 seconds up the road now is Zuniga, so he has bought that gap in defending to let Joe Zuniga walk out into third place.
Still a 2-second gap to Saba, which Saba is slowly closing the gap to Maloof, now 1.8.
I think a lot of that gap was eroded during the contact with the 626 car of Chambers. So it looked like he had about a 3-second, and then after that contact, it's just been kind of coming down a little bit at a time.
It's possible he might have a little front-end damage slowing him down.
It did look like a heavy contact, so I'd be surprised if there was nothing wrong with the car after, that kind of incident.
Oh, Saba.
Oh, Saba off.
Into the dirt a little bit.
Yeah, collecting the kitty litter. It looks like, is that car 10? That's Donis, who is off. He's still off down at Hugenholtz.
Oh, that looks like a heavy hit.
Yeah, another camo car. We'll see if we can... Oh.
The camouflage isn't hiding that.
No, that's a heavy hit. You gotta wonder if someone got into him or if maybe that was an unforced error. Those heavy braking zones, we've seen it a couple of times at the 11-12 Hans Ernst corner, can catch some drivers out.
4 laps down currently. Let's see if we can find any other close action on the grid.
There's Kevin Carreta Walker is 2/10. Oh, and this, a close little battle there.
Yeah, let's swing back to this real quick. Well, it looks like the timing hasn't caught up yet, because...
Yeah, Spectre has made that move on Reynolds.
And seems to be pulling away.
So it looks like that silver 1-2 battle with Alarcion, the leader of the AM class, directly behind. This looks like where our action's at.
Seems to be the one to watch. I hate to watch the same cars all race, but got to go where the action is.
And there's Anthony White trying to make an impression on this battle.
Yeah. Currently sitting P3 in silver.
So he sees his silver compatriots just up the road now, and he's probably itching to get into that fight. Just like we saw Kevin Correa itching to get into the fight when Walker had a couple of the pro class cars between them.
Looks like he's... Man, that was a close battle.
And Donis is in the pits. So maybe some heavier damage than we thought. We saw a bit on there, but definitely some tough damage.
Is the pit window? Is the pit window open now? No.
I think it opens in about a minute and 50 seconds.
Oh, so that is tough. So he's just missed out on it.
Just too early, yeah. Let's see if Walker can defend. So he's learned from those pro class drivers.
Wow.
He's got to prevent that inside. I don't like the second move.
Right?
You kind of had the first move, and if you just kept your line there, but
Yeah. Coming back seemed a little sus, but that's for the stewards to review.
you just have to make yourself obvious. You're not supposed to drive to your mirrors. So one move and you stick to it, but no. Maybe Curray is sensing that he is a little bit nervous. He's really hounding him here. But again, there isn't really an overtaking point. Unless it's, between 9 and 10 like we've seen a couple times.
Right.
If they go deep into 9 here.
And if Walker's late on the brakes and goes wide, keeps it tidy.
Yeah, so he is driving very conservative through there, just right in the middle of the track. Driving the defensive line.
Looks like
Dinosauro right ahead on Vergara. This is a close battle, it looks like. That might be
this
down
could
the
work
border.
to Kevin's advantage if he gets caught up in that lap traffic. Oh, was that Alicon?
It was, yes.
Yeah. Oh no. Does that
Still
allow?
driving a heck of a race.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, and
Kevin.
Curry's off too.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Where's Anthony?
He's promoted now, I think, into P2 in the silver class. Anthony is.
Yeah.
Mr. White of White Chorizo. There's the pit window now.
Pit window
like
now
talking
open.
about.
10 minutes. You should
So
start
every
seeing
car
some.
has to pit in this 10-minute window.
Yeah. Kevin entering the pits now, early. See if the undercut works out for him.
Remember, the overcut was super powerful last week, so we'll see. He's going to be on really old tires by the end of the race. And to answer a question we had last week, they do tend to only fuel for half a race. Oh, somebody off. Oh, Alarcon again on White. Maybe just an avoiding action there to prevent himself from collecting him. But White's got damage.
Yeah.
He's definitely had a little bit of contact there.
Looks like our action is up here again with Rodriguez. P5, sitting less than a second behind Cicolo.
And Cicolo's closed that gap to Zuniga. So that was 5 seconds, now 1.2. So without the cover of Mr. Phelps, that
Mr.
gap
Phelps
is closed pretty
falling
quickly.
back. 3.2 behind Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he does have some damage, or maybe that was just a foregone conclusion with the pace.
Chambers and Rodriguez entering the pits. Let's see how that
Okay, so
blends
early
out.
stops for Rodriguez and Phelps. So a lot of action in the pit lane right now.
Looks like Correas came out just behind Maloof.
So Peppers is coming out. The 343 car of Khan is coming out right now. We got the 666 car of Phillips in there. The 11 car, that's Rodriguez. 119 of Dinosauro. Number 9 car of Alarcon, I think.
Everyone choosing an early pit. Our leader's staying out.
So this will be an interesting split strategy.
Yeah, see if Saba takes an early pit or to try and undercut.
Because, 10 minutes, around about 3 laps, right? Give or take. That's an extra 3 laps off your tires towards the end of the race. Or, if you've pitted early, an extra 3 laps on those tires. So,
with a 3-second gap, you got to take a different strategy than the leader.
I would do whatever he doesn't do, and he does.
Goes in early.
So Saba hoping that undercut works a treat here. And I would think that Maloof probably reacts on the next lap around, because you don't really want to give away too much, just in case that is the more effective strategy.
Let's see if he hits his pit box correctly. And
No incidents going into pit lane yet. So far everybody's been pretty clean with that. Probably still about half the drivers to pit, you would think.
Looks like he nailed his pit stop. Don't see the car being pushed back.
Zuniga just leaving the pits now. Or wait, no, that was the 119 car, sorry. So Zuniga is actually down near Shivlak right now, about to go into turn 7.
Yeah, judging by the gap, I'm assuming he pit already.
He did. Actually, or did he? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he stayed out, considering he's up in P2 now.
Yes, so he's going to be a late pitter.
He's going for that overcut.
Really trusting Watson there on that move.
All right.
Now let's see if Maloof actually does jump into the pits here.
Or is he going to stretch it out to the end and go for the fresh tires?
Rounding Ari Luyendijk
No,
now.
he's going in.
Yeah, that's the right call. You can't really extend it too much just in case.
Well, let's watch Saba and see what the blend is.
So Walker, Reynolds, Caraballo probably haven't pitted here. Zuniga, Sikalo, Hamoud, all yet to pit, and so is Maloof. Well, Maloof's just dove in now, so. I think this will be lead of the race for now for Zuniga, and Zuniga's in the pits. So
I don't see him gaining any position from that call.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Now let's see if he can make it in and out.
Alright, Maloof's still in the pit box.
Once he gets moving, we'll have a good idea, but
Saba leaving.
Rounding 14 at Ari Luyendijk.
Coming out? No. This is going to be close.
This will be close. Maloof's going to have it for a little bit here. We'll see how quickly Saba can make an impression on those warmer tires.
Yep.
It's going to be a little slippery. Sikalo now in the lead of the race, but has yet to pit. We'll see if he pits the next time around. He probably has another couple laps before he needs to pit. So maybe Sikalo seeing that Menezes strategy from last week. Oh, stop go 30 seconds for car 333.
333.
That is Thompson.
Thompson.
So Thompson's collected a stop go 30. And so is Ryder. So that's one AM class owner operator in Thompson and Puff Puff Past Silver Driver, both with 30-second stop go penalties. So that's going to hurt. Not really making an impression is Saba on Maloof here.
Well, I mean, it has worked out. He is only 5/10 behind currently. Let's see after the next timing mark.
I think that might be an error. He's about 4 seconds, I think, because he's just entering. Yeah. And Maloof 3 seconds to Reynolds, because I think, Maloof's just entering turn 13.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was reading that incorrectly. So 4 seconds to Maloof.
And it's holding steady around 4 seconds. So, I mean, that might have been a good call by Maloof there, just to play off what Saba was doing and manage to keep the lead.
Right there.
So he's just entering Tarzan now. Reynolds, a late pitter.
Pit. Sends Sikalo.
Now we'll see if Reynolds can get in and out before Walker comes around.
Gets around.
So Walker is on the back straight heading into Hans Ernst.
Well, that's going to be. I think Walker should easily come out ahead of him.
He should, yeah, I think.
I think a pit stop is a minimum 30 seconds.
Last race it was about 40, so that tracks that it would be around that.
I should say just in the pit box you're spending 30 seconds.
Another stop go. Car 333 again. So did Thompson just get another one trying to serve?
Well, while
his last
serving
one?
it's possible. Yeah. And
unless it's
Walker's
just a slang
around.
again. Okay, so Walker's ahead of Reynolds now, who's just exiting now.
Yeah.
Or hasn't even got moving yet.
Not yet.
There he's down.
He's down now. pit stops are painfully long in these cars. One tire at a time.
Oh, yeah, it feels like forever when you're stopped.
Thompson still yet to serve his... Either hasn't served his penalty yet, or
he did get a second one.
Got handed another one.
That would just add insult to injury when you speed in the pits once and then you get another speed in the pit penalty the next time around when you're trying to serve it. That's just a kick in the nards.
Let's see if he serves it this time around.
And the pit window closing in a minute, so hopefully all the drivers will either be pitting on this lap or have pitted.
What car is that?
That's Chambers again. Chambers and Dinosauro are both off. Oh, that's a big hit.
Was that Shane in there too?
Yep, Shane Stevens is down there. Chambers yet to get going. Don't beach it on the side of the track. It's tough to get out of there. A little crevasse.
And there's a line of cars she's got to wait for.
Yeah, at least until Phillips.
She should be clear now.
Yeah, that should be the gap that she needs.
All right, Thompson in the pits serving his penalty. Hopefully he does it cleanly this time.
I haven't seen anything pop up from the stewards, so I think we're all right. Fred Medell coming out, the strange man.
Yeah, just creeping on by. See what I did there?
I love it. Pit window is now closed. So this should be our order as it stands now.
Seems a little long for a stop and go.
That's a 30-second stop go, so it's...
Oh, no, you're right.
There it is, stop go
cleared. And he's out and cleared.
And right into the path. Was that Maloof? It was.
Yeah, it was Maloof. Oh.
He has not had his first place come easy today.
Yeah. Saba better send a thank you card to Reynolds.
That was nearly an assassination attempt.
Sorry, not Reynolds. Thompson. My apologies, Reynolds.
Call Thompson the assassin.
But even though it doesn't look like it affected the lead whatsoever.
No, and he's actually extended it by 0.6. So, sitting pretty. It looks like down in 18th, Mary Wright is half a second off, and that looks like the closest of our battles right now.
Oh. Creeping up on Frankie. Or Freddie.
You don't even know his name anymore. You're going to hurt his feelings.
I know. I only know people by their online handles, and
you were talking last week about the loving you were going to give him after the race, and
well, things were said. Things that, some things that are said can't be unsaid.
Unspeakable horrors.
Just let us. He just, put it nicely. He just got way too comfortable around us.
Sometimes you say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, he really shouldn't.
The poor guy. Yeah. He just wanted to hang out with his friends.
I mean, what do you expect from a guy that drives a BMW?
Oh, I didn't know he drove a BMW.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, he's been having some troubles this past week getting his M3 past emissions test.
I was gonna say, does it keep catching fire? Electrical problems?
Yeah, you would think, but no. He's got himself an E36 M3 that will not pass California smog.
And I've just received a cease and desist from BMW's lawyers.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Apparently they're in the chat tonight.
I did see another person, and someone just left the chat. So that was probably BMW's legal team.
They serve their warning and then they let it go.
Yeah.
Sikala with a ton of damage on that car. I don't know if
Right?
it's still like just visible from earlier in the race, but man, all the down the side and front.
Hanging up in P4 though.
Yeah, only 1.5 back is Iniga, who's holding that third place, but tentatively. Watson down in 15th, half a second off. He's chasing. Got, I think, Reynolds in his sights here. Caraballo right ahead.
Got a nice group there.
So that top three in the AM category is all stuck together. The top three in the silver category also stuck together. So, all to play for with those three cars in both categories.
That looks like Alacana's nice lead there.
Yeah, he's got the space.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like they're all spread out pretty well.
Less than 3/10 for Reynolds now.
Yeah.
So he's really chasing. He wants to make inroads on the first of the AM class drivers here. My guess is that Caraballo skipped these guys in the pit cycle, and now, the pace is starting to correct itself. These
Right.
guys all want to get by as quickly as possible because they're all fighting for position in silver.
We got 20 minutes left in the race. Let's see how things shake out.
Track temperature up to 31, so actually warmer than what we saw in any session so far. So the track heating up a little bit. There should be a little more purchase in the tires as a result. Oh, wow, this is close.
Carabello has to be sweating a little bit.
Yeah, Reynolds pouring on the pressure here. But if he makes a mistake, Watson's there to pounce on it.
There it is.
Looks like, yeah, there they go. Reynolds going to try to get the move done. Watson going to try to
gonna
follow
to the
him.
inside.
Yes, he is. That's tight. Oh, and there is contact, I think. It looked like Watson might have ran wide into Caraballo there. Caraballo not looking happy about that.
Oh.
A little bit of swerving behind him, maybe just to get some dirt off the tires, but Perot is now going to need to get clear of Caraballo fairly quickly to stay in this hunt. Let's see if he can do it down the straight. I think he's maybe a little bit too far back. Usually for the moves, we've seen them in around about 3/10 or less. This is about a 6/10 gap, so that'll be tough.
Maybe he pokes out.
Oh,
Nope.
2.3 or 0.237, so he got
Stays
up to
tucked
2/10
between
behind.
them.
Let's see if he can be opportunistic into Hugenholtz.
Love that name.
Just not the story behind it.
Was that the story you were telling? That was the
one that nearly put you to sleep? Yeah.
Track owners, second cousins, twice removed.
We got car number 69, that's Hatcher off at Hans Ernst, the exit of turn 12. Oh, did he go sideways into the tires
I
there?
don't know. It doesn't look like it was a rough hit.
No, nothing obvious from what we can see. You try to get those tires cleaned off.
Back on the track cleanly, at least.
Perot still chasing Caraballo here.
This would be his best opportunity if he can pull on him through this section.
Yeah, he's closer than he was last time around, and we saw how close he got to making the move stick. He's going to have to hug it tight through here. Carry as much speed as possible through these sweepers, which, again, tough corners, a little bit deceptive.
I think he might have a chance.
I think he's going to get it done here unless Caraballo goes defensive.
Doesn't try it. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. That's got to be a little more aggressive than that, I think. He is Canadian.
Yes.
So maybe he's just being polite.
Meanwhile, Reynolds just pulling away.
That's the problem, is Watson and Reynolds are both going to walk away now, and Perot's going to have a lot to do in the last 15 minutes of this race. Ooh, a little tire off maybe there from car ahead. Just saw a little puff of smoke.
Oh, that was dangerous.
Yeah, Perot's going to have to take the opportunities as he gets them here. Try to hug it maybe a little tighter around here and make up some time. It actually looks like Caraballo's coming back at Watson almost.
Definitely close that gap.
Yeah, so we might see, maybe that was Watson that dipped a tire off going up into Sheeblack, turn 7. And yeah, Caraballo actually looking to gap Perot now, so Perot might have lost the opportunity. I think that's as close as he might have been able to get. If he wants to make the overtake now, he's going to have to build it up over a couple laps. Or hope that Caraballo has some type of mistake.
Or track off or something.
Blue flags here. Ryder probably getting those blue flags for lapped.
Seems like these guys are just pretty settled into their positions right now.
Yeah, we do have...
see if we can find some more action around the track.
Peppers and Roman down in 20th and 19th. I think Peppers is within half a second.
Looks like we got some nice...
Ooh.
And Hamoud and Joe all bunched together.
Might be a little strategy from Zuniga here to back these guys up into each other to make them squabble. Because the more that these guys fight, the better chance there is of a wreck and the better chance there is of Zuniga walking away. Because he's got to be feeling the heat now.
Right. Got a lap traffic right in front. Oh, Cicolo going for the move. Joe closes the door.
Day late and $1 short on that one. And Hamoud really chasing Cicolo. Dinosauro, the lapped car here, is going to be a bit of a mystery box. He will actually move over, it looks like, but will the leaders trip on?
This can be dangerous moving over in this section.
Okay, so Dinosaur actually kept his line. Maybe he just went a little bit wide on the entrance there. Oh, this is going to be sketchy. Oh,
he lifts there. Let's the three of them by. Now,
but that's going to cause a little bit of a shake-up here, I think.
Does he hold up Rodriguez?
Oh, Cicolo is making it. Oh, just a little bit too much, I think.
Mood squeezes through.
Yeah, so Cicolo and Zuniga were side by side there. And I think Cicolo just carried too much speed into 10 and opened that door for Hamoud. It's like we were saying, sometimes you're just not expecting that from behind. You're so focused on making the move ahead that you don't really see that guy sneaking up behind. It does look like Perot down in 15th has clawed back to within half a second. But I'd stay with this because it looks like we might have a move here from Hamoud. Just a little bit too far back. I don't think Cicolo is going to be too happy about how that shook out.
No, definitely.
Bit of an unforced error.
Oh, Joe.
Zuniga off the track.
Oh!
And he collects
and
Hamoud. That's a big one.
Cicolo and Rodriguez involved. Imagine that.
Oh, that's tough. Hamoud now back on the track. Khan on his outside. He's going to have a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He got shoved into the wall pretty good. I wonder if that'll be a box for damage or if they're going to try to make the last 12 minutes.
That's a tough call. I mean, I think either way, you're probably losing about the same amount of time, depending how heavy that damage is.
Yeah, the damage could end up being more. Now Phillips actually making impressions on Hamoud, so
Right.
depending on that damage, Phillips might see a spot in this for him.
Hamoud was put into that wall hard. He was up on 2 wheels.
That was a heavy hit.
I can't imagine that car's handling very well right now.
No, and Phillips definitely catching him quite a bit here. Oh,
A little door-to-door.
little swipe. Let's see if Hamoud pits here. See if any of these cars dive into the pits. Because that was a hefty contact for a couple of the cars.
Looks like they're all staying out.
All staying out. Interesting.
Oh, somebody's in them pits. Who is it? Ryder.
Car 18. Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, how would you postmortem that one? I think Joe was just a passenger.
Unfortunately, I think it might be a racing incident, but like we said earlier, it's up to the stewards. It seemed from our view that Joe just got on the dirt and trying to recover collected Hamoud.
I don't even know if realistically he attempted to recover. It looks like he just lost basically any form of traction.
Right.
Having that wheel off and
trying to slow it down and could not.
I think the issue might have been that, and not that it was Hamoud's fault because it happened so quickly, but I think that if Hamoud had a redo, he might have gone a little wider there. I think he saw maybe Zuniga off the track and thought an opportunity was on there. Oh, 21 car off track. That is Vergara. Yeah, just rejoining now.
He's got a line of cars. There we go.
And a lot of damage, it looks like.
Back on track. Yeah, the camouflage doesn't hide in that.
No, that's another one that the camouflage just can't hide. But yeah, I feel like Hamoud would probably go a little wider there at Hugenholtz if he was able to do that again, because I think there was a path around the outside to avoid, but I mean, when you're following that closely at that speed, I don't think he really had time to make that call. Zuniga was already coming back on track, so I would also say a racing incident for me, at least from what I saw.
Now, the surprising part is Phillips with clean car, no damage, is not gaining on Hamoud at all.
In fact, he's lost.
Right?
He does have Vergara in between, and he might be kind of tiptoeing around the lap marker, but we've seen Hamoud's pace is really good, and I think Phillips has just been a little bit off.
Right, and maybe the damage isn't as severe as we thought.
Yeah, it must not have been, but man, that was a big hit. Oh, here's Chambers and Hamoud. Hamoud's driving a little angry.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too happy with how this has panned out. He had a tough week last week at Brands Hatch too, and I think he probably thought there was a lot more in it this weekend. And well, I guess
unfortunately, the bad luck is carried over to. I'm not even pronouncing the name of this track, so I'll murder it.
Zandvoort.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Zandvoort. It's got 2 O's though. There should be an oo, right? It should be an oo sound.
I mean, if you were to pronounce it in native tongue, they probably roll that O a little bit more, but Zandvoort is the, well adopted, well understood name.
I see it, and I want to say Zandvoort.
I think that it's actually cm.com circuit Zandvoort, officially, if you include the company that owns the naming rights for the circuit.
CM. Okay. Oh, we have another
I think
off.
so.
Who's that?
Car number 69. So that is Hatcher again.
Oh. That is unfortunate. I think he got back on cleanly.
He's back going now.
Oh, that hood isn't looking too good, though.
No, that's one sad vehicle right now.
Yeah. That's a little floppy.
That's like in the old Herbie the Beetle there, when the trashed Beetle comes out of the junkyard.
Yes.
When all the Beetles are coming to Herbie's rescue. That reminds me of that.
You ever see Herbie Fully Loaded?
Um,
Excellent film.
Whenever you watch it, I think it's known as Herbie Fully Cocked.
I mean, Lindsay Lohan, just amazing job in that film.
Oh, Hatcher with a big slide. How about Lindsay Lohan aging in reverse right now? You must be happy about that.
It's very impressive. I mean, she can do anything she puts her mind to.
Or pocketbook.
Or wallet, too, but still.
All right, Rodriguez now on Ciclo, less than half a second.
Either way, hats off to her.
Is that all?
We'll leave it at that.
Car number 18 around, get turn 9 for a second there. That's Ryder. Scott going again. It looked like just maybe a slow spin.
All right. Don't see any damage. See any close battles we can find. Looks like
Rodriguez
Correas and Anthony. No, nice pass and over under
the
possibly.
Switchback. This will be close. Oh, and Anthony looking for that inside.
He wants P2. Well, all three of them. 1, 2, 3 and Silver bunched up right now.
I think, did Walker make a mistake there? Because I thought he was further up. But no, they're all right together. He's going to try to dive to the inside. That is a sketchy move. Wow. Thompson playing ball there.
Kevin
that could
around.
have ended. And White's through.
And Anthony through. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, good job by Thompson.
I mean, less than 5 minutes to go. They're probably all just a little eager to get through. And Thompson, definitely some aware driving there. That was really good.
I think this
You
here
gotta think,
and our Rodriguez and Ciclo are probably our two races to watch right now in these final 5 minutes.
yeah, Rodriguez, I think, just approaching turn 1 now with Ciclo. They're both going through Tarzan now, and that is close. Let's see if we can hop up to them, because, yeah, it is tight there.
I mean, this is for podium position. Good exit.
Yeah, that is a really nice corner there. And he is putting on the pressure. You're hoping for a mistake in this complex. See if he can poke through.
You know, watching these guys all race, they can come from either one of them.
And we've seen a lot of opportunistic moves between 9 and 10, so maybe he's trying to line up something like that again. Within 3/10 here now. And then Walker and Correa coming down the hill into 7. Oh. And it looks like Ciclo's held off Rodriguez up the track. They're heading down into Hans Ernst.
These are two good battles to watch.
Yeah, it's neck and neck. Dinosauro maybe throwing a little wrench in the plans. Oh, and we have a car off. It looks like 18. Where we ride her again into Hugenholtz. Oh, White's going to make the move.
It's contact there.
Contact.
Stewards might need to take a look at that one.
Yeah, that was close, but I mean, you only got less than 3 minutes left. You kind of got to make an impression now, or it's not going to happen.
Well, he definitely made an impression on his door.
You would know a thing or two about that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I plead the fifth. Oh, car number 69.
Hatcher,
it looks like Hatcher
track.
again. And Chambers causing a yellow flag on pit straight for something in the pits. Hatcher stopped. He has not got moving yet. Is he turned around or?
He was just stopped on the side of the track. I don't know if he's waiting for everybody to come by or
pulled off
Ciclo
maybe.
Pulling away from.
Yeah, starting to grow that gap. Up ahead, White on Correa. Let's see. He's going to try round 2 here.
Under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, heading through turn 8.
Oh man,
It's hard to see those numbers when they get bunched.
Right? We need a split screen to watch these two battles.
Yeah, we need picture in picture right now because this is neck and neck. Oh man, Rodriguez really hugging the bumper. This could be a move here.
I feel like
touches the gravel.
I feel like this is the one to watch. Just
I think so. I think Rodriguez is going to try.
You got Rodriguez as a wild card.
Ciclo to the inside to cover, but we've seen that outside. That's a second move.
The double move.
I don't know about that. That could end in tragedy. Rodriguez not going to be happy about that one. He's a seasoned driver.
Yeah. Well, that'll be on Rodriguez if he wants to send a report in or not. I believe only lap 1 incidents are reviewed automatically.
Yeah. Manual reviews have to be triggered by a later call to the stewards. But I think the same thing we said with the move when we saw that earlier. We're consistent.
Correa's in front of Phillips? What is going on here?
Phillips must have had an incident. Unless they're a lap down from him.
Well, that's possible.
We'll have to see when they pass the line. So yeah, Phillips has dropped spots. He must have had some kind of incident. Now. Phillips and White now going at it.
I think this is the one to watch.
Yeah. Rodriguez, so he's got to make this move now, correct? Or is just the leader on the final lap?
The leader's on the final lap. Everyone else has another
white
lap.
Flag. So, yeah, they'll get the white flag now.
Everybody will be getting the white flag coming around now. So,
yeah, Phillips passed by White. So Phillips down into 10th.
I see Hamoud back there.
So Rodriguez learned his lesson. He's not even going to look to the inside this time. Not going to give Ciclo a chance to do the double move, but maybe he's setting something up for later in the lap.
Man.
Oh, he's pushing that car.
Ciclo covering up the inside.
Like we said, you can place your car right to defend really easily here. It's going to be on Rodriguez to pressure him into a mistake, I think. Maloof now. Are we going around the final corner with Maloof? We're close. So Maloof just entering the final couple corners. He will take the win. 10 seconds up the road from Saba.
So watch him cross the line.
I don't think much could have gotten in the way of that.
Maloof takes a checker. Great job.
So there's our race winner.
And
this time we didn't miss Prime TV by looking at that.
Wow.
This is a big one.
There you go.
He's alongside. Hans Ernst is a tough corner. So he's going to force him to the inside and hope that maybe he can carry a little more here. I think that's his chance. I don't think he's going to be able to do it before the line now. I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened there.
If we can get a good run, we could have a drag race to the finish.
We saw that last week. It is possible.
Oh, he's
just a little too far back. Ciclo will guarantee himself that podium. Unless, of course, the stewards look at that blocking post-race. What do we got here now? White and Correa for that 8th spot on the grid.
Yeah, for P2 and Silver Division.
Again, probably a little bit too far back.
Yeah.
Just tantalizingly close, but not close enough.
Walker takes a win in silver.
And Phillips down to 12th. So 2
Alcon
amateur drivers got in.
Going for the amateur win.
We'll cross the line here now and take that P1. That's a great race for him. I think a good rebound
P2.
from last week. And close, too.
Yeah.
So Phillips rounding the corner now.
God, I wonder what happened.
I'd love to see the replays on that because he was, up in 6th, 7th place? And just all of a sudden down in 10th, 11th, 12th.
All right, and that's our final results.
And what a race. That was a good one.
Yeah. Lots of action tonight.
I think the way that everybody kind of expanded in the circuit was that there was a little bit of action going on all over the place throughout.
Let's let the room catch up. We can see our final standings. We caught a lot of action tonight. A lot of incidents.
It's hard to keep up.
We weren't shy about seeing those. My goodness, we got lucky to catch them when we did.
Oh, we're both learning, the two of us, and I think streamlining the process for our sort of editing and our
Driver
overall
call-offs.
direction
Yeah.
is definitely an improvement on last week.
Now this I'm unsure about. I don't know why it won't let me scroll, but we know Malouf P1, Saba P2, Sikalo P3, Rodriguez P4, Saniga P5, Hamoud P6, Walker P7, Creyas P8, White P9, and Alacon P10.
Close.
Yeah.
We have Spectre in 11th, Phillips in 12th, Reynolds 13th, Wright in 14th, Perot in 15th, Caraballo 16th, Roman finishes 17th ahead of Medell in 18th, Watson and Peppers round out the top 20 in 19th and 20th.
Great race tonight. The hour just seemed to fly by.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, any final thoughts before we end the stream?
Excited for the third race. I think we have one more before they break for Christmas. Is that right?
I believe so. And do we know what our next circuit is?
I can look at that now just so that we know we can kind of preview it. Fill the air while I go to the preloaded page that I have here.
Yeah, if you're expecting me to sit and talk unprompted, you're going to be sadly mistaken.
The page that I had for it is not open, so I'll have to go the long way.
Yeah, as far as offering insightful dialogue, I am not the man for that.
You do just fine. So we have Donington next
Donington,
week.
a track I am completely unfamiliar with. I've not turned one lap whatsoever. I'm assuming it's in the UK.
It is, yes. Donington Park is a UK track. Actually used to be an F1 circuit, I think back in the Senna days.
Well, that's
and
great.
Then they do have the mid-season break after that before Watkins Glen, which is a track we're both much more familiar with.
Very familiar with. I mean,
and
not to toot my own horn, but I did win there in Super Formula last month.
You have been known to toot your own horn.
Yes.
Especially when watching Herbie Fully Loaded.
Excellent film. I mean, the fact it wasn't nominated for an Oscar that year is a real tragedy.
An Oscar that's high praise.
Have you not watched Herbie Fully Loaded? It held my attention the whole time.
I'm sure you were just captivated.
Very.
Now, we should probably head out before you say some Fred Medell-esque some confessions.
On that note, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Sid.
And we'll see you next week.
See you at Donington.